Hello, this is Spartan Commander, and this is a 477th Rome Total War Brotherhood game that I've put onto YouTube. As a lot of you know, I usually just put a battle on a Saturday, but I thought I'd put this bonus battle on today, Thursday, and this battle was supplied by Brotherhood member Mars, and this is a very unusual 2v2 battle. I can't remember the last time I put a 2v2 battle on, but it is a good one for you to watch. Okay, their first teammate is Brotherhood member Aurelius. Now Aurelius has got 11 infantry, 4 archers and 5 cavalry. Okay, 11 infantry, 4 archers and 5 cavalry. I'd just like to draw your attention here to, in his infantry, he's got his infantry general, plus he's got an eagle unit as well. Okay, so there's a lot of morale going on there for his infantry. And Aurelius usually brings good cavalry. So let's just have a look here. And yes, he's got 8 upgrades on his cavalry, 2 experience stripes, gold shield, gold attack. So that makes that extremely serious cavalry. And it'll be interesting to see how well they do, especially towards the end of the battle. So I think that's a pretty good balanced Roman army. And their other teammate is the supplier of this battle, the host of this battle, who is Brotherhood member Mars. And Mars has got 14 infantry and 6 cavalry. Okay, he's got the bog standard 31k Roman army of 14 infantry and 6 cavalry. And the reason it's a bog standard one is because it's so effective and so efficient. So there's the 2 there. But you wait till you see the other 2. This could be a great battle to watch. At this stage of the battle, I thought we'd have a look at Mars' formation here. As you can see, he's got his main infantry army there, backed up by his cavalry. But also you'll notice that he's got like a little mini army here of 4 units. Okay, so it'll be interesting to see how he's going to play this battle, and splitting his army like that. I presume his main army would pin and hold, where he got those 4 units around the flank of the enemy there. That may well be a tactic he's looking at there. But I just thought it's an interesting formation here for you to watch. And here is the other team. We have Brotherhood member Mad King. Now Mad King has also got the bog standard 31k Roman army of 14 infantry and 6 cavalry. Okay, so the bog standard Roman infantry army there, 31k, 14 infantry, 6 cavalry. And his teammate is Brotherhood member Trajan, who's got 13 Spartans, 1 armoured hoplite, and 5 archers. Okay, 13 Spartans, 1 armoured hoplite, and 5 Cretan archers there. Okay, so if you notice here, he's got his main infantry there, and he's got other units at the rear there, which I think he's going to use to guard his Cretan archers from cavalry attack. Plus, he might throw some units over Trajan's way as well to help him repel any cavalry attack by the enemy. So it should be interesting tactics in this battle. I hope you enjoy it. Okay, at this stage of the battle, I just thought we'd do a cavalry count. You can see Aurelius has got 5 cavalry, Mars has got 6. Okay, so they've got 11 cavalry there. Aurelius and Mars have got 11 cavalry between them. Okay, and remember that the other team, Mad King and Trajan, have only got 6 cavalry. Okay, so there's 11 cavalry against 6 cavalry. It'll be interesting to see if that makes a difference, especially towards the end of the battle. Okay, at this very, very early stage of the battle here, you'll see Mad King was there on the right flank, but is now going to move over to the left flank, where Trajan is going to move over to the right flank where Mad King was. And there's a tactical reason for that, and that's because the enemy have stacked their cavalry over on this right flank. And of course, if the Greek city's army moves over to that right flank, they're a great neutralizer against any thought of a cavalry attack on that right flank. Okay, this battle is going to be full of tactical and strategic movement, as you will see during the course of the battle. So I think that's a pretty good move there by Trajan and Mad King. Okay, at this very, very early stage of the battle, you will see that the archer war is now ensuing here. You can see that Trajan's Cretan archers here are targeting the enemy Julii auxiliary archers. Now remember, those auxiliary archers have got better defense than the Cretan archers. Okay, so in theory, I would have thought that the auxiliary archers, if they're not outnumbered there, could well put a good performance in against these Macedonian archers. Okay, the Cretan archers there. As you can see here, they're not suffering a great deal of casualties here, even though they're getting big hits coming in from those Cretan archers. As I say, they have got a better defense than the Cretan archers there. And if you see here, Aurelius is now pulling his archers back out of archer range there, and also he can see that the enemy Brutii army is now moving towards him. I say, in this battle you'll see a lot of tactical movement, a lot of pulling back as the Greek cities approach Roman armies there. But of course you don't want to fight Greek cities head on, so of course there's going to be a lot of tactics maneuvers and strategic moves here. Okay, you can see Mad King here moving forward with his Brutii infantry and his cavalry. You can see the Greek cities general there moving Spartan units over to protect his archers, but also he can move those units forward to kind of integrate them in with Mad King's army so that they can be a neutralizer against any possible enemy cavalry attack. As I say, remember that the enemy have got 11 cavalry here and Mad King and Trajan have only got 6. So my guess is they may well target them. Right, so you can see here that the Greek cities general would like to take the Julii infantry on head on if he could. But if he does that, of course, he could be pinned and hold where Mars get those 4 units round his flank. So it'd be interesting to see what actually happens here on this part of the battlefield. Of course, Mars might not want to take Greek cities on head on anyway, even though he could do that tactic with his infantry, because of course Trajan's got a lot of other Spartan units he could pull over to that flank to support him. Okay, at this stage of the battle here, you can see that the Julii troops of Mars are moving over to the left flank there. Okay, so pause again for a second here. So you can see Mad King moving over here to the left flank, and Mars moving his army over there with his cavalry as well. Okay, if you notice here, Mad King is also moving his Brutii cavalry across to this particular flank here. And you can see here Mars wants to be very aggressive here against Mad King's Brutii troops. He doesn't want to be too aggressive, obviously, against the Greek cities. You don't want to take the Greek cities on head on, but he will be aggressive against the Brutii army there. Right, you can see also Trajan here has got his Greek city units, his Spartan units there defending his archers, and he'll use those archers extremely well all the way through the battle there. As the enemy move their infantry units there, he'll probably target them as they're moving. Remember, infantry units suffer a lot of casualties if they're caught by archers as they're moving. Okay, as I say, this 2v2 is very tactical, very strategic. You can see here Mars taking his cavalry over to that left flank there. As I say, he would like to target the enemy Brutii army there, but of course I've noticed that there's some Greek city units been thrown into the Brutii army there, which may well, as I say, be a neutralizer against cavalry attack. Now here you can see Aurelius would like to hit those archers if he could with his cavalry, but with those Greek city units guarding them there, it might not be worth taking the chance. You can see here, I think it's Aurelius's archers there targeting either the Cretan archers there or the moving Brutii infantry. As you can see here, the Aurelius has pulled his infantry and cavalry back there, maybe to encourage the Greek cities to move forward towards him. Let's say it's very tactical and strategic here. As you can see here, the Cretan archers are targeting Aurelius's troops every time he's moved. Now remember, Aurelius's infantry hasn't come into pilot range at all. Those casualties are all from archer fire there. Okay, so that just goes to show how well Trajan is using his Cretan archers. Over here, another nice bit of teamwork here by Trajan, like integrating Spartan units in with his Brutii ally. Of course, that will definitely make the enemy team think twice about maybe hitting the Brutii infantry with cavalry, with those 2 Spartan units integrated within them. So that's a nice bit of teamwork there by Trajan. If you notice here, his armoured hoplite unit there has been attacked by a Julii unit. But if you notice here, a nice bit of teamwork by Mad King there, moving his infantry unit forward there to support him. Right, now just thought I'd draw your attention here to something you might find interesting. Can you see Mars's unit here is routed? It's got 62 men in. Okay, so make no doubt that unit will rally. Okay, that unit will rally. If you notice here, the Cretan archers are still targeting Aurelius's infantry there. Okay, so as I say here, this unit here is 62 men. As routed, but that unit will rally because it's got so many men in it. But Mad King can see that, and he's going to hit that unit with his cavalry to make sure that that unit does not rally. Okay, do you remember what we've talked about this in other battle videos? Always chase down the routers. Don't let them rally, because they got a habit of coming back and kind of biting you in the butt if they do rally. Okay, so this is a nice use of his cavalry here to chase down and make sure that that routing unit of Mars does not rally. Okay, he's losing some cavalry to that Julii archer, those archer units there, but he's certainly making sure that that Julii unit will not rally and come back in behind them. So well done to Mad King there. If you notice, he's got that unit in open order there to suffer less casualties from archers. Remember, that's what we have pilot shield units in open order for, because in open order units suffer less damage from missile troops. Okay, but as you can see here, that cavalry unit of Mad King is really being targeted by the Julii archers there, and it might be a good idea for him to move that unit just out of range there. He's lost a lot of men there to archer fire, and you can see here the Julii general starting to chase him off with his cavalry as well. Okay, so he did lose a lot, as I say, lost a lot of men there from that cavalry unit to enemy archer fire. Okay, meanwhile over here on this flank you can see that Mars there is making the most of his split army, using those 4 units to get maybe in around the flank of enemy troops where he pins and holds them with his main infantry army there. Maybe that's what he's thinking. You can see Aurelius is bringing his infantry and cavalry over towards Mars's units now, as they were getting a little bit split up there. I thought the team was, let's say, kind of pulling away from each other there, but it's a good time, I think, for them both to rally there to face the Brutii and the Greek cities. Okay, if you notice here, can you see Mad King once again moving his infantry over from the other flank over to this flank? There must be tactical talking going on here between Mad King and Trajan in who they're going to hit and when they're going to hit. I think that's why there's so much movement going on here. And if you notice here, the Julii armors are moving as well. Can you see they're switching position? So obviously there's a lot of tactical talk in the Julii team as well. As I say, this is only a 2v2, but there's a lot of tactical and strategic movement around the battlefield, as I'm sure you'll see during the course of this battle. Okay, so at this stage of the battle here, you can see the Greek cities are over on the right flank there, facing Mars's army and cavalry, infantry and cavalry, where you've got Mad King here moving over here on the left flank, looking to maybe flank Aurelius's Julii army there. Okay, let's just pause the game for a second. Okay, because you see the casualties that Aurelius has already suffered. Now, bearing in mind he hasn't come into pilot range, those casualties are caused by those Cretan archers. Every time Aurelius was moving, he was being targeted by those Cretan archers, and that's why he suffered so many casualties within his infantry. I think some of his cavalry has also been targeted by those Cretan archers as well. Okay, so as I say, if you use your archers carefully and thoughtfully, you can cause a lot of casualties to the enemy as they're moving. Okay, you can see Trajan here targeting the enemy Julii cavalry with his fire arrows, and you can see the burnt bodies there of those cavalry units there where he managed to kill some with those fire arrows. Okay, you can see Trajan here taking his Greek cities army forward, and these Brutii allies as well, looking to target Aurelius. Okay, they'd like to target Aurelius's army here. Has he become a little bit isolated maybe from some of Mars's units and cavalry over on the other flank? I say Trajan would love for the Roman general to take his Spartans on head on, because that's what he would like. Okay, you can see now that I think all the Julii archers have now been routed there. Okay, unless they rally there, then the Julii team now have run out of archers. But as I say, you can see Mad King here looking to flank maybe Aurelius here with his Brutii army. Meanwhile, over on the right flank of Mad King and Trajan here, you can see Mars moving his cavalry around. He may well smash into the rear of that moving Spartan unit there. That might be something he might be thinking of doing. Okay, his cavalry have come under fire from the Cretan archers there, but he's going to smash into the back of that unit, and bang, and he smashes in. But that Spartan unit turned, I think, just about at the right time there. Probably put his spears down, going to repel that cavalry attack, I would think. Plus, as I say, those Cretan archers shooting fire arrows onto those cavalry as well. As I say, I think that Spartan unit turned just in time there. Maybe just about to got his spears down there in time. Meanwhile, here you can see the Julii army now, Mars's army here, attacking Trajan's Greek cities. So I think the battle could well kick off now. Okay, you can see over on the left flank here, Mad King attacking Aurelius's Julii army with his infantry and cavalry there. And you can see that Aurelius is counter-attacking with his cavalry and infantry. Now remember, Aurelius's cavalry's got 8 upgrades, 2 experience stripes, gold shield, gold attack. That's some serious cavalry he's got there. Okay, so you can see here that I think Trajan's bringing some of his Greek city Spartan units over here to help Mad King. But you can see here Aurelius making the most of those well-upgraded cavalry. Look how he's throwing them in to the enemy Brutii infantry there, really trying to cause as many casualties as he can there with his cavalry. As I say, Trajan bringing his Greek city units over. Right, let's pause the game for a second here. So you can see Aurelius's infantry and cavalry are in a big tussle here with Mad King's Brutii infantry and cavalry. Can you see Mad King bringing his 3 units of cavalry over there to smash into the flank of the Julii units there, and also he's got another 3 cavalry here as well. Well, he may well smash into the flank as well. Okay, remember that's a newer way of using cavalry there, splitting them up and charging them from different angles. You can see the Greek cities ally there bringing Spartans into the flank as well. But just like to draw your attention here to Mars's cavalry. Okay, now Mars has got several options here, but what my guesses would be he could either target the Brutii cavalry from behind, although there's a Greek city unit in amongst them, or bring his cavalry all the way over here. Okay, just about, I would say, yeah, bring them about there, ready to smash into the rear of the Brutii engaged infantry. Now that may well be a tactical move that Mars might do with his cavalry. He doesn't really want much truck with those Greek city units, with his cavalry there, with their anti-cavalry bonus. He's got his infantry there to hold and pin some of those Greek city units while he takes his cavalry around the back. And let's see what he's going to do with his cavalry there. As I say here, you've got a lot of Mars's units here. He looks like he was going to move some more units over to that right flank here, but there's a gap between the Brutii and Greek city armies here where he might get his infantry in between. Okay, right, you can see Mars getting his cavalry in behind the enemy Brutii army there. Right, you can see Mad King's 3 units charging the cavalry, and bang, as they smash in to Aurelius, his infantry unit there. But you can see Mars bringing some infantry over here to support Aurelius, and you can see Aurelius' well upgraded cavalry charging into the flank of those Spartan units there, and bang, as he smashes into them. Remember, with those well upgraded cavalry, 2 experience stripes, gold shield, gold attack. Okay, now you can see that Mad King spotted the danger of Mars's cavalry here and sent 3 units over there to try and neutralise that attack. But I got a feeling here Mars could well take out those Brutii cavalry and then maybe reposition his own cavalry to charge into the rear of those Brutii units there. Okay, there's a Spartan unit been brought in here as well to help fight them, plus the Cretan archers were targeting them. Okay, so remember here it's the green against the red and the Greek cities against the red as well. Right, see that attack by Mad King's cavalry, and bang, as it smashes into that Julii unit. Okay, you can see Aurelius is going to counter-attack with his cavalry, and bang, as they smash in to Mad King's Brutii infantry, and they routed it as well. You can see Mad King taking his own cavalry through there to try and counter that Julii cavalry attack. Okay, so let's just pause the game for a second. Okay, so Mars's cavalry are now behind the engaged troops of Mad King there, okay? So those cavalry are going to smash in a hammer and anvil attack. You can see that Trajan's brought some of his Greek city units over to help his Brutii ally there. Okay, he's trying to get his Greek city units over as fast as he can, but he's kind of being blocked, I think, by Mars's infantry there, stopping and bringing his reinforcements over. Meanwhile, over here on the right flank here, you can see that Trajan's units are facing some more of Mars's infantry. Okay, Mars has done a good job there in pinning and holding those units, stopping him from getting them over there to help his Brutii ally. As I say, very tactical, very strategic. See the gap between Greek cities and Brutii, and Mars got infantry in between them and is now attacking Mad King's Brutii infantry. But the main thing, I think, problem for Brutii here from Mad King are those Julii cavalry. They're going to smash into the rear of his engaged troops, and as they go in, bang, as they smash in with the first lot, and then the second lot smash in, and bang. Okay, that's a hammer and anvil attack. I think Aurelius is infantry with the anvil, and Mars's cavalry were definitely the hammer there as they smash in. You can see a hell of a lot of Mad King's Brutii infantry starting to rout there. Really nice hammer and anvil attack there. I think Aurelius charged cavalry in as well at the same time, so that was a nice combined Aurelius and Mars cavalry and infantry attack there. Okay, so you can see here that most of Mad King's Brutii infantry have now been taken out, and I think it's going to be, can the Spartans now take on all these Julii infantry? Be interesting to see. Let's say the cavalry advantage that the other team have, I think, has really shone through here. Okay, that's the Greek city's general just been taken out. Bad news for Trajan there. But as you can see here, Trajan's got a lot of Spartan units here that he's attacking those enemy Julii units are for on this other flank. You can see the Cretan archers there have just taken out a Julii cavalry unit. There's some more Julii cavalry charging into those Cretan archers. My guess is, though, that Trajan will alt attack maybe. Okay, can you see those Cretan archers glowing there? They've just got a battlefield promotion. Remember in RTW, if a unit does really well, it gets a battlefield promotion, so that unit now will have an experience stripe added to its specifications. Okay, But meanwhile, over on the other flank here, bang! As you can see, that Julii cavalry going into the rear of those engaged Spartan units. As I say, the enemy cavalry advantage here, I think, is just starting to tell. You can see there's one Spartan unit of 44 men have just been routed there. So that just goes to show they were probably frightened by the number of enemy troops that are around them there. But as I say, there's a couple of Spartan units here, and I can see the enemy cavalry ready to charge in on them, plus there's infantry attacking them as well. Meanwhile, over on this flank, you can see Trajan's Spartan units here. He may well want to set up a defensive box there now. He may well go in for a defensive formation there, bearing in mind that his Brutii ally has been taken out. It was a nice hit by his Brutii ally's cavalry there, though. Helped him take out that Julii unit. As you can see here, Mad King's got a couple of cavalry units left. But you can see all that victorious Julii infantry on the other flank there are moving towards the Greek city units here as well. Mad King's doing really well with the cavalry units he's got left. They're both very, very battle damaged, but he is doing it. Now, he might sandwich attack this unit here, one in the front, one in the rear, maybe not. Nope, you can take him over and smash into the flank of that Julii infantry unit there. Nice hit there by him. As I say, Trajan needs to organise maybe a defensive formation there against all that Julii infantry coming over towards him. But as I say, I think Mad King's doing extremely well with those two battle damaged cavalry units he's got left in harassing and haranguing the enemy. There's a couple of enemy Julii units just routed there. So, okay, so what I would say to you watching this, if you were a betting person, which way do you think this is going to go? There's a lot of Julii infantry and cavalry left there, so I'm thinking that my guess is that they're probably going to be the winners here. But you can never underestimate those Spartan units, can you? So it'll be interesting to see, I think, what's happened. I think we're kind of moving into phase 2 of the battle here. And my guess is, as I say, Trajan's going to set up a defensive formation. Let's just pause the game for a second. So, as I say, I think that would be the best move for the Greek cities general. They would set up a defensive formation. He's still got a lot of Spartan units left, so he can set up a really effective defensive formation. And a lot of the enemy Julii troops are battle depleted, as you can see. A lot of them very battle depleted here. But there are several units there that have still got a lot of men in. So as I say, if you were a betting person, which way do you reckon this is going to go? The Greek cities or Julii? I think looking at the cavalry advantage that they've still got here, that could make or break it here, getting in behind the engaged Spartans. So I think I'm going to say that I think that maybe the Julii troops may win here. But as I say, you can never underestimate the Spartans. So I say now, it all depends, I think, on how well Trajan sets up a defensive formation here. If he sets up a really solid defensive formation, bearing in mind that, as I say, the Julii troops are battle depleted, a lot of their units are extremely battle depleted, then I think that Spartan formation could well hold. You can see here Trajan being aggressive, taking that one unit forward towards the Julii army. Now he's in danger of being smashed maybe in the rear by those cavalry units, although that cavalry unit's charged into that Spartan unit and bang, it smashes in there. You see that Spartan unit glow? So they've just got a battlefield promotion. They've just got an experienced strike put on that unit there. Okay, and he managed to rout one of those Julii cavalry units. But as I say, Trajan needs to set up a really good defensive formation here, I think, if he can. Okay, you see those Julii infantry there attacking that one Spartan unit. Now don't make no mistake here, a lot of the Spartan units are very battle depleted themselves, so as I say, it could be interesting here. And you can see the enemy cavalry. Okay, the enemy cavalry are very battle damaged as well, but if they get in behind the engaged Spartan troops, then that could well make a difference in this battle as well. Okay, so as I say, looking at this situation, which way do you think it's going to go? Okay, you can see Trajan moving his Spartan unit out to help the other Spartan unit there, but he could have Julii troops come in behind that unit there. You can see this unit here could run in and attack the rear of that engaged Spartan unit, even that unit as well. Both of them maybe could go in and attack the rear of that Spartan unit. Remember, that's the most vulnerable part, the weakest part of any unit in RTW, the rear. As you can see, Trajan set up a bit of a defensive box there.
The enemy show their true virtue. They are not soldiers.
But as I say, you can see that Julii unit, as we thought, going to smash into the back of that engaged Spartan unit, and bang, as he charges in there. Now whether Trajan's going to turn that unit to face that threat, or whether he's going to keep attacking that Julii unit. You can see he sent over another Spartan unit there to help. But of course, when you've got Spartans outside of a formation, they can be attacked in the rear and the flank. And as they're very battle depleted anyway, that could make a difference there. Okay, they've managed to rout that Julio unit, which is good. Good for the Spartans there. As I say here, you can see that that Spartan unit now is turned to face that Julio unit. Now, if they could rout these couple of Julio units here, I think that would... there's one of the Roman Julio units has just been routed there. But I'm not sure about Trajan's tactics here. As you see, I think he's trying to be very aggressive, which is good for a certain part of the battle here. But I think he needs to maybe think a bit more of a defensive formation. I don't know what you guys think. Do you think maybe a defensive formation for the Greek cities might be more in order here than being aggressive? I don't know what you guys think. You can see they routed those couple of Julio units there. As I say, they're routing the enemy Julio units a bit at a time here, those Spartans are. So I think this is going to be a pretty close battle here, looking at the situation. As I say, there seems to be a lot of Julio infantry on the battlefield, but if you look closely, a lot of them are very battle depleted. So their morale are below, and their battle proficiency won't be as good there. You can see that there are, as I say, quite a lot, and Mars's general, I think, is still alive as well, giving morale bonus to their troops, whereas I believe the Greek city's general was killed a long time ago, so there's no morale bonus being given to the Greek cities at this stage. Okay? And you can see, as I say, a lot of the Spartan units are very battle depleted. And you can see the Julii troops being moved around very tactically here. So he's going to attack, looks to attack that Spartan unit in the rear. But Trajan spotted that and moved a unit over to cover that. And now he's got two Julii units attacking him there. I can't believe that. I think one of the Julio units has still got pilers left at this stage of the battle, which is very unusual to have pilers left at the end of a battle there. And he's throwing them into the Spartans as well. I say the Spartans are doing very well here against the Julii troops, but I've noticed that some of the Spartans are starting to rout. And as I say, with a number of Julii troops that are still left, plus that cavalry, that could be a deciding factor. This is a nice attack here by the Julii infantry into the flank of those two Spartan units, and you've got that Julii cavalry, as I say, ready to attack as well. I think actually this could be a numbers game, as you can see at the moment here. Still so many Julii troops left. And as you can see here, all the Julii troops are being pushed in now onto those remaining Spartan units. Make no mistake, those Spartan units are under a hell of a lot of pressure now from all those Julii troops pressing in on them. And as I say, those Julii cavalry, yes, they're battle damaged, yes, they're weak, but they may well see a chink in that defensive armour that they could make the most of. I see some of the Julii infantry is starting to rout here, but that would be a good place for the cavalry to attack there into the flank of those Spartan units. See, those Spartan units' flanks are exposed to cavalry hit there, and I think if that cavalry charges in there, that could be... And there they go, and bang, as they smash in there into those Spartans' flanks. Now, are those Spartan units going to rout, or are they going to hold? That was a nice... Okay, those cavalry were extremely battle depleted there. I can see one of those Spartan units just glowed, just got a battlefield promotion, so it's got a stripe. But you can see those Julii infantry really pushing in on those Spartans. And those cavalry could charge in again. You can see a lot of pressure on those Greek city units. And there's those cavalry coming in again. Now, could that be the straw that broke the camel's back there as they charge in, and bang, as they smash in there straight into the flank of those Spartan troops, and that was the final straw there that managed to break the Spartans' resolve there. Okay, so it looks like the Julii team has gone on to win. As you can see, for a 2v2 battle, I thought this was quite intense and quite spread out. As you can see here, this is where a main part of the battle was fought. You can see there by the piles of dead. But over here as well, like you can see, that was quite an intense part of the battlefield there with the dead there. And as you move over here as well, you can see that this was quite an intense part of the battlefield as well. So bearing in mind, as I say, this is only a 2v2. If you look at the size of the battlefield, I think that's quite a large battlefield there for just a 2v2. Just goes to show the manoeuvring, the tactical movement and the strategic movement there all over the battlefield there. So I thought that was a really good tactical and strategic battle there by both teams. So as I say, the the Julio team has gone on to win. Okay, first thing I'd like to say is really well played to everybody in the battle there. Now, when I watched this battle, I felt sure it was going to be a close battle, so for it to be average, that really did surprise me, actually. I don't know what you guys thought. With the battle-depleted units that Julio had left, I thought it would have been close. Nice kills for Trajan, highest kills in the game, 1,756. So well done to Trajan there with his Spartans, did extremely well. I thought maybe a little bit more of a tighter defensive formation towards the end might have done it a bit better there. But I thought he did really well. So I'd like to say really well played to Brotherhood member Mars. Nice aggressive attacking. Well done to Brotherhood member Aurelius. I thought you two did extremely well there. Tactical and strategic movements. Great teamwork. Well done to Brotherhood member Mad King. And well done to Brotherhood member Trajan. I hope you enjoyed this strategic and tactical 2v2 battle. I look forward to seeing you soon. In fact, I'll see you Saturday. Bye for now.